Do it now. Okay. Abigail. Abigail. Even. Of course he hits you, he kills you, but he does that to any character, and we have good Oki on his ass. My instinct tells me even. If I think about it really long and hard, if I was like extremely good at the matchup, I would put it in favorable. But because just based on my results, I'd have to say even. Alex, easy mode. He can rob you just like any other character if he gets the momentum going, but there's no aspect of that where he is dominant. Blanca, there's no reason for me to think anything other than even. You know, sometimes if you fight a good player, it's tough, you know. He has options, but I think Blanca does okay against Akuma. Vega, I think you usually play poor Vegas, and I don't want to base my stats on that. I'm gonna say that it's actually favorable because we win the matchup. But Vega hits hard too, so you can't just be like, you know, it's not easy mode. That's why it's not easy mode. He hits so fucking hard, and his neutral's good. Birdie, Birdie is even. The nerf to his normals helped a lot, and yeah, we have an answer for everything. Again, if I feel like if we have answers for everything, like Akuma does in most matchups, then there's no reason why it should be anything other than even or better for us. Balrog, we win that matchup. He doesn't have. I like using Demon Flip against him, and any matchup where I feel comfortable using Demon Flip is very tough for the other person. Cody, I don't have the easiest time against Cody, but that's just because of V-Trigger 2. But in general, we're still favorable in that matchup. Our neutral is way, way better than his. We have an answer for the fireball. You can, even if they use V-Skill 1, there's ways around that even with Demon Flip. His V-Skill 2 is good, but I don't think good enough to disregard everything else. I don't even know how to use V reversals properly. Otherwise, I feel like that matchup would be even better for me. You know, because then you just like negate the EX Zonk stuff. But I don't use it. Cammy, that's about as even as I can think at the moment. She annoys the shit out of me, but I actually don't play high level Cammy enough. I play mid tier Cammy a lot, or particular players that don't really use her the way you would think she traditionally approaches. But I feel like when you know the matchup, she knows the matchup is even. Chun-Li, this is a tough one for me. Let me hang on to that for a second. Dalsim, all right, this is the one, huh? This is the first tough one. Everything else has come pretty instinctively to me, but Dalsim, because my heart actually. I think this is a fucking even matchup. I really do. I don't think there's an Akuma that will disagree with me that anyone who says that this is in Akuma's favor does not know the matchup well. Like Akuma can just destroy him, gets him in the corner, whatever. But the thing, if Dalsim just gets one part of his game going, everything changes. And so, if I were to base it on my results and just what I know about the matchup, every time I see an Akuma do well in this matchup, you have to kind of go apeshit. You have to get that light DP in neutral to smack one of his buttons, move in, just swarm him. But so annoying, and I hate the matchup too. So that's part of it. Ed, I don't see in my head what Ed has over Akuma. Ed, all Eds should be. I play Eds who use, I think, the wrong V skill. I have a lot of Eds who still use V skill 1. I think you should be using V skill 2, and maybe my opinion would change on Eds after using that. But they all use V skill 1 still. V trigger 1. I don't play enough good Eds to say, but in my experience, it's favorable. We can whiff punish the 4 medium punch. We have that 3-frame jab to set up to block the EX upper. We can punish his V reversal. Tatsu through his fireball. Sandbag showing him punish even when they use V skill 1. You can dash across the screen and jab him. So, Fang. This matchup, I'm gonna say even only because I admit. God, see, I always have this like split in my hair right here. I hate that shit. Anyway, I'm gonna say even My heart says not ideal, but that just can't be. We have, again, like I said, we have answers for everything. If we just play perfect, we have answers for everything. So, with our fast dash, or with our fast walk speed, we can navigate fast enough to see if he's throwing up the up balls, or and we have ways of getting past the mine fairly easy. And then, you know, there's some things that you need to learn, like when he's in his air and he does the sky swim. You know, you gotta change it a little bit. But other than that, the coward crouch is annoying, but it's annoying in every matchup he has. Falk. Again, I feel like I'm gonna say this for every single matchup. It's like I can think about an option that Akuma has for every situation. That's the one thing about Akuma is if you know the options for every situation, you have the answer somewhere in there. And for Falk, if you're able to whiff punish long range buttons like that, then that and Armantiago, you're right. It's just like I don't have the experience against high enough Falks enough. I play mid-tier Falks, you know. So in my experience, that's why I have to say it's even, because even those are pretty difficult. So that's what makes me lean towards that. G, this might surprise some of you guys. G is fucking even. Know the options. Prevent yourself from getting smacked with V-Trigger activate. Once he's in V-Trigger, he has more options, but until then, you can bully him just like you can bully anyone else with weak defense. You know, his V-Trigger opens up his V-skill, which makes it he can punish your fake shit. But other than that, you just have to play more careful in V-Trigger, and who's that different then, you know? Of course he does big ass damage. That's the only thing that makes it even. If G wasn't so hardcore robbery feeling, it would be almost easy mode in my opinion. But you know, he does big boy damage. So Guile, I feel like a lot of these are going to be even. Nothing, I just don't know if a matchup's ever going to be not ideal. On a personal level, yes. What's going on, Notebook? Maybe I gotta make this bigger. Add row below. Still even. Or will it open wait, did that just write it backwards? Why is it writing it backwards like that? Oh, it'll add a row. Okay, then I'll just delete this shit. Okay. Ibuki. This would be impossible for me to say. I've seen tournament matchups where the options that Ibuki take are totally different than the ones I run into in real life. Because the ones in real life, it's in our favor. The ones I see in tournament, it's even. Because of like just basically the activate, you know? It seems like people don't know how to even activate it without it being punishable. So, I don't know, it's skewed. But this is based on my experience. Jury, I think, is in our favor. Again, fast walk speed makes it so it's easy to punish her charge ups if you anticipate it. Knowing her options and how many holes she has in her game with her shitty V-trigger. You gotta be very careful though. Air throw is very good against Demon Flip, so you gotta play good. Ken? Oh god. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I think V-Trigger 2 Ken is fucking even. He gets it so early that it makes like as soon as he gets V-Trigger 2, just all he does is have it available. He doesn't need to use it. He just has it available. Instantly, you're thinking about every single thing you do. Fireball, jump. But since I've been using Ken, I realize this V-Trigger 2 is very vulnerable. You know, as I see it, I'll try to use it as an anti-air, and that shit does not work if you use it late, so that makes me change my idea a little bit. But the fact that it completely negates Akuma's strongest V-Trigger options makes it so it evens it out, and doesn't have bad neutral either. And good damage. So I'm sticking with even, no matter what, for now. Just based on my results again. Kage. This makes me realize how little experience I have against high-level characters. High-level players using the character. I've only played one extremely good Kage and Snake Eyes, and I got fucking steamrolled. So if I base it on that, absolute dog shit. But generally, if I see Akage, you better know how to use him really, really well, or it feels totally favorable. But I see no reason. Give me like a pressing reason as to why Kage would have an advantage in any part of that matchup. What is Kage better at that Akuma's not good at? Well, he can hit light Tatsu, right? Crouch medium kick light Tatsu, he can hit that. Tega I haven't got a chance to play yet, so maybe I should hit him up. Colleen is even. If you know how to use crouch medium kick confirms, which you should be able to, otherwise you shouldn't be able to make this chart about Akuma. It's even because of just how much Colleen's use their backwalk speed to try to get out of everything. If you can confirm crouch medium kick, get that knockdown's good. V-Trigger 2 is the same in every other matchup she has. We have just as much of a chance of stopping it as anyone else, so I mean, if we, you know, that doesn't change. I don't think her V-Trigger 2 changes with matchups. But just like I mentioned before, we have ways of getting around her. A lot of her pressure, you know, those EX hail, there's some way we can get around that, even without using meter. If we had to use meter every time, then it'd be a different story. But the fact that we can do stuff like stand medium heavy DP to get out of that situation, even stand medium kick medium Tatsu to move forward and get out of the hail, I'll stick to even. I'm not that scared of her. I'm scared of her when she activates V-Trigger, but that's it. Kareen, getting even. She does way more damage from her crouch medium kick than we do, and it's seemingly more reliable. Our neutral's just as good. Without meter, we could take advantage of her with Demon Flip on Oki. That's always a plus. She has low health too, so it feels good to land combos on her. Any situation where I can land it and get big damage too, I actually like the Akuma matchup. Because of how I do combos, like, oh yeah, you're fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? When I play Akumas and I could look at their health, I'm like, oh yeah, you can have your health at 50%. I'm doing Raging Demon. That shit's killing. True. The thing is, Notebook, is that her forward throw compromises her neutral just as much as it does ours. So taking the throw is a big part of that matchup. Her forward throw sucks just like ours. So I would actually say Akuma is the definition of neutral. Laura, the more I get to know the matchup, the more I even realize this is probably a favorable matchup for us. No matter how much I personally need help in that matchup, we are favorable in that matchup because of how Akuma's ability to stop her fireball pressure, I would say, is higher than anybody else, or if not equal to like the best anyone else who can handle it really good. You can't do the same block strings that you do against everyone because for some reason her stand light kick like pulls her back and allows her to punish things that normally you'd be able to do. But that's just a matter of switching a button and knowing the matchup. Yeah, then the rest is matchup knowledge. The more you know about the matchup, the easier that is for Akuma. Minot, you know what's crazy about Minot? I think this was even all the way up until this season. I don't know what changed, but I am not scared of Minot at all. I disrespect Minots when I play them. It's the only matchup where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Anti-air me 10 times. I'm literally just gonna keep moving forward, pressing forward, jumping forward, demon flipping. Maybe that's what it is. They all use V-Trigger too, you know, because they don't feel like investing in the matchup or investing in the character that much to really get down V-Trigger 1. But in my experience, watch me go into a tournament and just get washed by a Minot. I'm just not scared of it. She just doesn't do the damage necessary to prevent me from wanting to go ham. I think Nikali, I have no reason to think it's even, anything other than even. He ignores me. Stack ignores me. I'm gonna leave this at even until Rama can prove to me otherwise. Until you can prove to me otherwise. Nash, I fucking hate this matchup, dude. I hate this fucking, I personally hate this matchup. On paper, it's probably even. And we are doing this on paper. I think online, fuck this character. Yeah, I think the Nash matchup is even. His ranging game is just annoying. Our Mika, this, okay. Now, this just reminded me, this might be a not ideal matchup. I'm gonna keep it here. I'm not saying this is set in stone, but after talking to some Mika players, after playing a lot of Mika players, after knowing the matchup, the more I'm like, you know what? This is a tough matchup. This season in particular. I'm gonna keep that there for now. I don't like that matchup. Rashid, all Rashids have totally disappeared, but in the meantime it'll be even. Anyway, Rashid, yeah, Abdul Kevin makes it. We go back and forth in our matchups too. We have good answers against his pressure, good whiff punish for his crouch fierce. He can't just like randomly do that anymore. Even, very powerful. Ryu, baby, Ryu is even, boy. I talked to the best Ryu player I know, and he agrees it's even. He used to say Akuma, it was in Akuma's favor, but this season, different. It's Ryu. He's honest as fuck. That doesn't mean he ain't buff as fuck, though. He's buff, dude. I think Ryu is probably the most understated in season 5 because of just his legacy of sucking ass. But I think Ryu is in a good place right now, and people just push him to the side because of how long he sucks, how long he has sucked, his legacy of suckage. But I think he is a strong character. He's not like fucking Akuma status where the matchup's gonna, my matchup chart's gonna be mostly in the favorable department. Sagat, I'm gonna save this for the end for all you motherfuckers watching. If Ryu VT, oh, you're talking about Ryu. You're talking about Ryu. If Ryu V-Trigger 2 parry VT1 air fireball crumples Akuma, oh shit. Sakura, the only matchup experience I have is versus one player in Space Boy, and we go back and forth again. The more I learn about the matchup, these things change the more you get to learn about the matchup. Because there's a lot of matchups that start off feeling like this might not be in Akuma's favor, then you learn a couple options and you're like, oh, okay, that's actually, like, for example, crouch medium kick, her crouch medium kick Tatsu is reactable. You could see her doing Tatsu and you can react to that with heavy DP, EX DP, parry if you're God. So just knowing little things like that really turn the matchup around. If you didn't know you could do that, then she can just fucking run you over with all that shit. Urian. We're talking about V skill 2 V trigger. He now has good pressure with that. That changes stuff for sure, and he didn't have that before. And I used to think it was even. Now that he's got some buffs and we got some nerfs, I don't know why this would be not ideal. Just thinking about the meta, how the meta has changed. How is it that it was even before? If people agree with that, and it wouldn't be in favor of him now. Akuma's only gotten worse, and Urian has only gotten better, right? Unless there's something I don't know. But I just feel wrong putting anything at not ideal because I feel like Akuma has answers for everything. How can I put something as not ideal when you have answers for everything, you know? So to me, we can handle it, Urian. So even in my book. And Bison, I hate the matchup personally. Sucks as a Akuma player, you always blame yourself. It's true. I just don't blame myself for what I'm about to say here. Bison, by the way, but Bison hasn't really changed all this time for me. We got those nerfs affected us with our crutch medium punch, but other than that, again, we have like I said, I'm gonna say this about every matchup. It's just, yeah, we have the answers to beat this character. It's all dependent on how much you know the matchup. That's the beautiful thing about Akuma. Low health, great options. You make a mistake, your fault. You know the matchup, you win. That's how it goes. Zangief. I almost want to put this in fucking dog shit. I don't care that Tokido beat Capicha. I don't give a shit. I hate this matchup. I'm gonna put it in not ideal. I'm not gonna say it's dog shit. Again, we have options theoretically, but I think the risk-reward ratio is too insane. This is a matchup. This is truly one of those matchups. You make one mistake, and you know, go to hell. Not my problem. I don't even know if Geefs will argue with me on that in this season. Season 4, Akuma wins. Season 3, Akuma wins. Season 2, Akuma wins. Season 5, things just got different, boy. Yeah. Zeku, even. Zeku, I think, is fucking good. Zeku is almost Akuma caliber in my opinion. Why is Zeku not Akuma caliber? Why? What holds Zeku back from being Akuma caliber other than a slight? I would say Zeku is actually harder to use. The only thing is he has to stance change in order to optimize, whereas Akuma doesn't need to stance change. So, you know, if you can perfectly optimize, be going between young and old and finding the right times to do it, he's got everything you need. So we'll leave it at that. I actually want to go back to him for a second, but Gil is, I almost want to say easy mode. I almost want to say Gil is easy mode. Yeah, I've been playing Stanford a lot, and he's been doing pretty good against me. He wins a set every now and then, but I think Gil as a character does not have what it takes to beat Akuma. I think Gil sucks in that matchup. The only reason Gil even has anything is if he gets a fucking parry, crouch, heavy punch, kills Akuma. Yeah, that sort of thing could happen. But that could happen against Alex and V-Trigger too. They get the right parry and they fucking clothesline you and get you in a mix-up. That could happen too. So if Gil can do the same thing that Alex can but without V-Trigger, I guess, that's kind of cool. But in my opinion, I need to be more convinced that Gil doesn't get run over by Akuma. Honda? If people say this isn't that big of a deal, but the fact that we can parry EX butt slam is huge if you can read it. But other than that, Honda can handle Akuma pretty well, in my opinion. I used to think it was actually in favor, but I have so many people disagreeing with me, saying that because I just said, oh, I can parry EX butt slam, how can he win this? But I have Hondas disagreeing with me constantly, and I hate him. Lucia? Let me go to Chun-Li real quick. Chun-Li's even. Chun-Li, the Morrigan. My heart tells me that Chun-Li has an advantage of that matchup when it comes to like the ease of use in the matchup, but we're both at 100% effort, 100% focus. Their neutral is both really good. Poison. Just like the Dawson matchup, in my opinion. She's a little bit easier to run over, in my opinion, than Dawson. Once I get in there, again, it's a character I disrespect. Once I get in there, I'm just doing demon flip, dive kick, demon flip, jab, dash, 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 jump, 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 red fireball, red fireball, red fireball if I can. But she gets one, she starts to get her game going, your health literally just deletes. More volatile than both Minot and Dawson by far. Like when you, like, demon flip saves him in that matchup. If he didn't have demon flip, that's a not ideal, near dog shit matchup. But because demon flip is just so good, especially in the corner, once you have her in the corner, it's your world. But other than that, EX with her V trigger, all that just does so much damage. I do okay against Idom's poison, and the fact that I can even do okay against his poison but get blown up by his Laura tells me that this is a matchup that goes one way or the other. You know, poison is bullshit, and who knows? Maybe I'm 1-5-0 away from being like, okay, fuck this character. For now, I have her here. That's subject to change for sure. Seth, they need to make an adjustment to that axe kick. I'll put it there. Lucia, I don't know. It feels favorable every time I play it. I would put it at not ideal, but I feel like putting not ideal for something like the reason I don't have a problem putting Armika or Zinkin because they've been around forever. I know the matchup. I know the Geef matchup. I know exactly how that matchup works. And Sagat, dog shit. No, Sagat is even. I played it offline for about 50 games the other day, and it came down to whose game plan worked out better. So his strat was to not let me get V-Trigger, have very much fun with V-Trigger, but we control the neutral with one good move, just as they, you know, I actually want to figure out right now if he can confirm stand medium kick into V-Trigger. That's a different story. That's actually not a bad idea. Rama have him bring it in a little bit more so it's more reliable to punish. Okay, so this looks pretty much like how I thought it did. According to this, this puts Akuma in the top rank. 2 maybe bad matchups and bad matchups in the wild card form, you know, in just that you fuck up, you're dead. But none of this is surprising to me. If you're an Akuma player and you see Vega, Balrog, Cody, Ed, Juri, Kage, Laura, Minot, and Lucia in the favorable position, that's not too surprising. Alex and Gil in the easy mode shouldn't be. And I also think that having such a fat even, it goes to show how well Capcom has done to tame the character. I mean, how much better can you get? The only way you can get better is if you make Vega a little bit better. Maybe make his V-trigger activate twice or something like that. I don't know. Give him 2 slides. What about that? Balrog, Cody. Balrog actually is subject to change. No. Cody. It wouldn't surprise me if Cody convinced me at some point that it was even, but for now, I just feel very comfortable in the Cody matchup. I feel this is just matchups I feel comfortable in now, or except for Laura. But I understand when it's my shortcoming as a player. Same with the Sagat matchup. If you were to watch how I feel against Sagat, instant dog shit. But I know, setting my skill aside and my feelings aside, they add up pretty evenly. Zangief, I know in my heart, is dog shit. I'm only putting it here because if we play perfect, we can win the matchup. Yeah, Mika is similar to, the feeling is similar about Geef, where it's like, I feel like her neutral is good, and you know, in 2 seconds you're dead. She's got good answers, and she's got good answers against his air stuff. She's a good character, in my opinion. I lost a Cool Kids Cody for the first time ever, Hoji and Shazzy in like a 2-week period. Any Akumas in the chat? I wish Kimte was here. He's actually not even here. But anyone who disagrees with this? You disagree with Nikali being even? You think it's in Akuma's favor? You would probably know the Akuma matchup better than I know the Nikali matchup. Craw123_. Thank you very much. The only things I'm not sure about is honestly poison could be not ideal. I wouldn't be if another Akuma player of the similar skill level said, dude, I think poison is fucking not ideal. And I'd be like, why do you say that? And then I could see them raising an argument. Akuma has an answer for everything Nikali does. Yeah, but that's what I was saying before. Akuma has an answer for everything that everybody does. If we were to do this in a chart about just what matchups I hate, this would look totally different. Poison would be in the trash can. Seth Sagat would be in the trash can. Bison, Zeku, Yuri would be in the trash can. Fang would be in the trash can. Falk would be in the trash can. Guile, trash can. Blanca, trash can. I like that. Vega, trash can. Ed, trash can. Laura, trash can. Lucia, trash can. You kind of see these memes about like, oh, Akuma has low health, must be low tier character even though all these options. And I kind of always resented that. Like, people just kind of shrug off 900 health as if it's not really that big of a factor. It's so huge. Every time I play the Akuma mirror, like I was saying before, I look forward to getting those big damage combos and watching you die fast in situations where no one else would die. That's a factor. If 900 health isn't a significant factor to you, then you've never used a 900 health character, or you've never used like a lower health character like that. It's a major difference. We do not survive shit. I think Akuma is still hella strong, but I would put him anywhere around 13th and 9th. He's not top 5. Holy shit. And Mika, again. Mika, it probably is more in the even category, honestly. And even Mika's even. We have one arguably not, maybe two, maybe arguably not ideal matchups. No dog shit matchups. Well, Geef is dog shit.